What up, gang? It's your boy ZA, man, and I'm back with another one. Yeah, we're going to talk about Team ZAZA today, how it started, the inspiration for it, and the direction that we headed, man. It's going to be a good one. So this is a story time with ZA, man. Go get your popcorn, go get your egg. Let's get right into it.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, you hear me?
Yeah, you know it.
Turn up the leaf blower and the lawnmower. Harry, he smoked the sour. Should've been a hippie, should've been a shower. Bread with no dread, black cop, who ya?
Another thing, don't forget to join the Discord.
What up, gang? So look, before we get into the video, first you got to make sure you comment, like, subscribe, right? But it's always changes to the team, right? And I got to give a shout out. It's always hard for me to give a shout out in any of my other videos because I never want to forget nobody. But this time, we on it, right? So we got 2 new members. Shout out to Despicable Dabs and the homie D Graves. Congratulations, man. Welcome to the team. Y'all fit in perfectly, and we appreciate having y'all part as a family. But I got the list right in front of me, so it's the Instagram list though. So it's just Instagram. I'm in front of the computer, so I'm cheating a little bit, but let's get it right. Miller time. We got owners, right? We got owners of this thing, like owners that own equity. So Miller time, Thad, Elway, Bearded Buzzman, and 703. Those are our our owners, partial owners and equity holders, and that's because they do so much and they contribute so much to the team overall. And we got all the members contribute overall, and they're all brilliant. But it's a growth process. So as we go along, people rise up and they accept certain responsibilities. So shout out to also Deepak, man, one of our members who is actively service. So we thank him for his service all the time. Normally, he's away, but whenever we get a chance to see him, it's always love. He's usually overseas. So shout out to you, Deepak. Oner, my dog Oner. Shout out to you, Oner. Tony Trini over in Trinidad, man, my brother, man. Peace, love, and blessings. Jimmy Grotron, y'all know Jimmy, man. One of the members, man. Out of Brooklyn, man. So shout out to Jimmy, that's my brother. HB Nikki, also in Trinidad. That's my sister. She been one of the original members with me for a long time. Buzz 420, that's my brother, man. Buzz up in Colorado, man. We got Sissy. She is the she's the rock to our family here. So we love Sissy, and always she's a chef. She's so talented. We love her. And Elway, also a member, owner. Elway been with me since the start, and before the beginning of all of this right here. So Gold Beard Genetics, we already talked about Gold Beard being one of the owners. Lil Dusky, and Dusky, he joined the team just to help me out, man. He's been such a huge help from the start, man. I love him like a brother, man, and I appreciate everything he brings to the table. Stones, one of my originals, the Stones is my brother, man. These are all my brothers and sisters. I can't, I love all of the, I met them all in real life, and most of them have met each other in real life, and we've had the wedding, and we've had so many interactions, and I appreciate all of them. They really are family. And last but not least, my first member, dude, still with me to this day. As far as Team ZAZA, that's Canadian Grower, my brother, man. Shout out to my crew, that's them, man. I love y'all, man, and I'm excited about the future, man. So, all right, look, so the story of Team ZA is it's a real interesting one, because that team went through several transitions, and it started off, me coming into the community by myself. It was just me. I had a couple of my brothers, Elway, Finito, Busy Badass. I had real thoughts for them to really be the Team ZAZA. but for whatever reason it didn't work out like that, right? So when I first got in there, I was already on a mission, so I had my objectives already set. So in the process of me networking, making connections, building my audience, I noticed some things within the community that I didn't necessarily agree with in terms of breeding for the number one, quality of breeders, education that was available, all of the bro knowledge. There was a lack of good education, and there was definitely nobody that I could really find that was actually doing the mechanics of selective breeding when it comes to the planter in general, period. So that was an issue for me, and I wanted to really help change that. So not only was that an issue, but we also we ran into the issue of noticing that the new grower, the new consumer, they were getting the short end of the stick more than anybody, right? So not only were they being bombarded with information from companies and trying to market them and sell them products they probably don't need 95% of the time, but they also got to deal with scammers and frauds, and then they got to deal with these fake breeders who really are just pollen checkers out looking to make a dollar, right? So when you combine all of those things at one to somebody who's really just coming into this community, man, that's overwhelming, man. So ultimately, I really wanted to find a solution to that in my own way, and that's when I figured out to create my own micro community within what we know as the community that we have now. So that's what I did. We coined the team ZAZA. We eventually, the first team. So like I said, it went through several transitions. So we'll call it the first, second, and third team, right? Because that's kind of how it all went down. So the first team initially was being recruited, more so really focused around business, right? So everything was business. Everything was really. Because I saw within the community also there was a lack of business, knowledge and customer service and, all of these things that's normal to us in the business world, in the real business world, right? It's really a lack of it in our community. So I really wanted to focus on business and branding and anybody that wanted to join what I was building, my community, that I wanted to make sure that they understood the importance of branding, business. They understood the lane that they were wanting to be operating in, and they could work towards that goal, right? And ultimately, I wanted them to really take on a business mindset, an entrepreneurial mindset when it came to this community, right? Not only take advantage of the platform that I built, my connections, resources, whatever, but also create your own individuality outside of that so you can become your own brand, right? Our goal is to always create legacy. Like that's the ultimate goal, no matter what, is to always create generational wealth and legacy, right? And that's the long-term goal. That's not something you can start putting in your pocket right now. It's not about making a quick buck, but ultimately we started to, it was like we was doing interviews and, I had, we was really getting a lot of good motion, right? And at the time, so let's take it back a little bit. So I found my first Team ZAZA member. Shout out to Canadian Grower, right? Nady is what I call him, right? So what we all call him. So I found Nady, and it's been a minute, so I can't really tell you the exact conversation, but I remember, I don't remember how we met, but I always had my eye open looking for talent that, that would, I come from a background of recruiting, hire, motivate, teach, train. That's the background I come from in the real world. So, being able to recruit and find talent is something natural to me. So when I saw him, however I found him, probably in a live or, however it was, we sat down and talked, and my initial objective was to really, at the time Canada was newly federally legal. So my initial objective was to really acquire my audience from Canada first, because that was where it was federally legal at. And so, matter of fact, I remember. So initially, I was doing giveaways, and I was focusing on doing giveaways, with strategically collaborate with, with a couple people from Canada. Nady ended up, being a part of, he ended up being one of the audience that, joined the giveaway. However it happened, that's how I ended up bumping into him. And when I first met him, my objective was to create distribution. He's from BC, British Columbia, so I wanted to create a distribution, where he represented Team ZAZA. He represented, well, we didn't even have a Team ZAZA, right? I kind of put it together right there on the spot. Listen, you represent this right there where you at, and I'm gonna push the agenda on this side. You see what I'm saying? He was working in this really large growth store at the time, and we was pushing, and we was working. He would go live all the time. This is what we came up with the gorilla emoji as a way to really represent us and communicate. And he would be by himself, man, in people's lives at late night, throwing gorillas up. We would be building our live up every morning, and we was consistent. Around the time we had a really strong live, it was even brand new, based on education. He would do a lot of displays and tours within his grow shop. They had a aquaponics system, like almost a big pond sitting right in the middle of it. It was a beautiful store. So he really did his thing in the beginning. We all did, man. And eventually we grew our live, man. And Oni was a part of that. A lot of times he would come through, and Hawaiian Grasshopper would come through, and then eventually I met Miss B, and shout out to everybody who was a part of this journey, man, because ultimately it really is a journey, man. And that first team, it had a lot of people on that team who are no longer here now. So, but shout out to all of them people. Canadian Grower, he's still here. Sissy, my sister No Limit Edible, she eventually joined that first team. She was a part of that first team. It was a pretty large team, so it was growing kind of fast. And I have a background in dealing with people, so my personal relation skills are really strong. So I can kind of read people and understand people's personalities and things like that. So I was so heavily focused on business at the time, and creating these different, my goal became, I want someone to represent Team ZAZA in each state as sort of like a supervisor, and then they would have a team under them. So that was the goal. We wanted every state, we wanted, and the only way to accomplish that was through recruiting, really with business focus at the front of mind, right? So that's what we did. And really, to not drag it out and make a long story short, things was just, because it was so heavily focused on business, things was like drama here and there, like within the team, and one day my sister, I love her to death, and this was one of the most significant moments in Team ZAZA history right here, where she came to me one day and she said, Za, what I think you don't realize is that you can deal with and get along with anybody, and they get along with you and deal with you too, right? No problems. But you can't expect us to do the same thing when you walk away. So I was like, damn, it hit me so deep. It really hit me deep. It blew my mind, actually. And it blew my mind so much that I shut the team down. I shut the team down. Because for me, I realized that I got lost in the same exact thing that I was combating, right? We represent QCE, quality community education. We bring quality to this community through education. And the same thing that I was fighting against, I was starting to become. And my goal and my objective was strictly to just be in each state. And I wasn't pollen chucking per se, but it was more so like, dude, you lost focus on what's important. You just trying to create numbers at this point. And that's exactly why, thank God she picked up on that, right? But that's exactly why this team is in the state that it's in. So with that being said, I took heed to the message that was delivered, and I took heed to the message that was delivered, and I shut the team down. So when I shut the team down, we took the team to a different phase. So I brought Sissy with me. Sissy, Canadian grower. Stones was with me, of course. These are the people who was with me in the beginning. Sissy, Stones, Canadian grower, HB Nikki. These was the people that was with me in the beginning, from the very beginning. So with that being said, we then moved the team to a real life situation where I took those 4 people, whatever it was, with me, and we built a different team. ZAZA-How was real life now. It was focused strictly on getting licensed in here in New Jersey, and we built this huge plan. I built this huge plan. I built this huge team. indoor facilities, you know, on a $30 million investment. So that was a big deal, and we was about to close it. We was at the end. It was lit, you know. We was signing paperwork and sending information and, you know, personal info, and then my assistant, being the thirst bucket that he is, he messed it up, man. He was trying to basically secure money for himself, based on what we was working on. You know, he was trying to secure money for himself right there, and the investor wasn't feeling that. You know, he did it behind our back, and it messed everything up. So that really kind of messed me up. I put a lot of we all did. I mean, we all put a lot of hard work. I mean, Sissy was there, No Limit Edibles was there. She seen it. She was there every step of the way. So, you know, my sister was there with me. She seen what I went through with that whole. It was a nightmare, bro. It was a nightmare, man. And it was my dream coming shattering down right in front of us. Everything we worked hard. I mean, you talking about working hard. I'm talking about